Hello everyone and welcome. In this video we are going to see how can we detect a platform of the application, whether it's 32-bit or 64-bit. So let's run this application, and when I click platform here, it says this is a 32-bit application here, right? And if I switch to 64-bit and I run the application and clicking platform, now it says this is a 64-bit application. And you might ask, okay, so why is this even important? Why would I care if it's a 32 or 64-bit application? Well, because of obvious limitations on 32-bit platform. So you cannot work with so much data, you cannot use so much memory. I believe it's up to 4 gigabytes of RAM. And I've been developing personally some applications that use even up to 70 gigabytes of RAM, so very large, and those kind of applications would simply crash in 32-bit mode. So in some cases, well, if you work with older operating systems, then perhaps you cannot even use a 64-bit application, and then you can, for example, customize your application and say if you are working as a 32-bit, then, for example, specify that vector of data to be a lot smaller than, for example, on a 64-bit version of application, right? And that way you can maintain only one code base, but in regards to both platforms. So how did we detect if it's a 64-bit or 32-bit platform? If I click this button here, this is the code, and as you can see, depending on if it's 64-bit or 32-bit, I'm changing this caption of the form. And like I said, you can change everything that you want here, resize the vectors and do some other customizations of your code, but the point is that you have one code base, right? And that's important. Otherwise you would probably need to have two code bases, maintain them separately for each of the platforms, right? And well, just to give you some pointers here, when checking for a platform using these macros, Win64 and Win32, you need to be aware that in Win32 mode only this macro is defined, but on Win64-bit platform both this and this macros are defined. So in order to get the correct result, first you need to check for Win64-bit application, because only 64-bit application has this macro defined, and if application does not have this macro defined, then it can only practically be Win32-bit. Okay, and that's one way of checking the platform. And also you can use some other approaches. For example, if you say something like this, show message size of some pointer, for example, a void pointer. The thing is, if you have a 32-bit application, it can utilize 32 bits, which is 4 bytes. And if I run the application, then it can address up to 4 bytes or 32 bits, as you can see here. That is the limitation that I was talking about. But if I switch to 64-bit, which is a lot larger address space, and well, here we go. So it would be always safer for you to go to 64-bit version if you can, but like I said, sometimes you want your application to work on even on older operating systems that only exist in 32-bit versions. And this can be a way to, like I said, maintain only one code base. Also, C++ Builder still uses 32-bit platform as default platform. It's, I would say, a convenience, because 32-bit compiler is still a lot faster than a 64-bit compiler, and you can especially feel that when you're working with a larger project. So people kind of start with 32-bit and well, simply stay on it.